I'm Zach.
I'm Chris.
And we're going to talk to you today about our guide rods, durability, service, usability, and why they don't last forever in all cases.
We get a lot of questions about how long to expect, like a round count that we can expect for service life on guide rods, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly what that answer is. Everyone's going to have different results based on their use. We like to liken them here in the shop to race cars. You know, this is essentially a high performance part. This is not a stock performance part. Race cars don't have warranties because the harder you beat them, the sooner they die, and they're going to need more maintenance. So I think maintenance and expectation of service life is what really needs to be addressed. It's something that people just don't always understand because it looks like a factory part, largely in part to our R&D team, but they do not last like factory parts do.
Yeah, specifically the long stroke, we're trying to squeeze every bit of performance that we can out of the steel frame and pro platforms. And so getting it to travel a little bit further, we're using a little bit more exotic of a spring. We're using bushings that are made to protect the slide and other components and add lubricity. So those are just going to wear down over time. Just like Chris said on car parts, whenever you modify OE, a lot of times you're decreasing service life, and just like an oil change or changing the struts or shocks on a car, like these things are getting beat, and so they do wear down. I mean, springs are wear items, they have a service life, but like I said, we're asking more out of these. So this is a brand new spring, this is our long stroke spring, and this is one that has an indeterminate amount of rounds, at least 3,000 through it, and you can see that you're already starting to lose some of your free length. I mean, it's just common with springs, it happens. They're made by a very prominent spring manufacturer here in Indiana, Flatwire, and they can have a long life. It just depends on how you treat it. What's the power factor of your ammo? Are you're running 124s through this? Are they 135 hand loads at 900 feet per second? All that contributes to how hard you're slamming these things and how long they're gonna last. The same goes for the bushings up front. These are really made to wear out. They're protecting, one, they're adding lubricity. The brass and the stainless adds for smooth, slick slide action. Well, that's hard to say. But it's also going to wear out because you've got a chrome moly slide that's super hard. So any in and out and articulation, especially if you're taking it out to clean it, I mean, you're wearing down the brass. Brass is soft by design, softer than the slide or the guide rod itself. So the rod will never wear out, but you're going to wear components like the cap. You could break your snap ring, it's gonna be super hard to see, and the springs obviously will last between 1,500, 2,000 rounds, and we have people who've got 20,000 rounds out of them, a couple trainers, more, double that, but I think that's kind of sketchy and we wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, so that's why we sell a service kit that comes with a tool to help compress that spring, and it's also gonna come with a new cap and more snap rings.
Like Zach was saying about service life with the springs, our development weapons that we have here, they don't see a ton of rounds at once. They see 50 or 100 rounds when we go to the range, and then they sit for a couple weeks. And then they see 50 or 100 rounds, and over the course of several years, we've got thousands of rounds through these guns, but they're not seeing 200 rounds a week or 500 rounds a week. And if you think about any kind of a spring, whether it's a tennis ball or an actual spring, if you smash that thing to full stack 200 times in 2 days, it's just not gonna hold up as well as if you do 50 times and then you give it a couple weeks for the metal to do whatever metal does. I am not a science person like that. I'm not an engineer.
I am. It's called stress relaxation.
But yeah, like you can see here, it's not even the same shape anymore. It's going to wear, and it's not going to wear evenly, and that's not a design flaw. That is just it's just the hard facts of the way that these things stack up.
Another thing to keep in mind too is we're going down in spring weight. Again, like a race car performance, the duty system that's set up with from Walther, they use an 18.6 pound spring. That's the effective, and that's not the rate, as people get confused, but that's the effective weight of the spring system in the mass damper. We're going down to a 14.5. And so obviously when you reduce that to get that flatter recoil impulse, you're adding wear to the system. You know, that 18-pound spring is a lot heavier gauge of wire, so it's going to resist that fatigue and stress relaxation a little bit better. So when we're going down to the 14.5 or even 16, it's a reduction. We don't consider, and we tell people this, the long stroke is awesome, it's phenomenal. Like the shoot in the field, especially for competition shooting, however, it's not a duty component. We don't recommend it for carry because you're asking a lot out of it. Much as you wouldn't, you know, throw a turbo system on your daily driver that you need ultimate reliability out of, you're going to sacrifice something in the long run. So that's really what we want to stress with people, is that yes, it's a consumable because you're asking more out of this gun to get the ultimate performance, and so there will be sacrificial parts and pieces.
Long story long,
service your gun.
It needs to be serviced. This is not a set it and forget it. None of our equipment is. They're all aftermarket performance parts. Performance parts need maintenance. Your gun needs maintenance. Just like Zach said, like ejectors wear out, extractors wear out, guide rods wear out, springs wear out. We sell service kits not because we don't want to sell guide rods, but because the rod itself isn't going to wear. It shouldn't wear. If the guide rod wears, call me. Send me an email, chris@zrtactical.com.
We're trying to give you maximum performance out of your pistol. So with that, you're just going to have to keep feeding it new springs and new bushings to keep it in top performing condition.
Yeah. If you have other questions that you'd like answered, drop us a comment in the comments, or anywhere else you'd like to send comments. We also have a contact form on the website. Tell us what you think about this video. We're always here. Literally, we're always here. We won't answer your email all the time, but we're always here. We'll answer you between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday, Eastern time.
And check out our new company, ZR Overland, for Toyota performance off-road overland parts.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.